My man Pete Predica's in the building, man. He's the man. Y'all know he is. He's a play-by-play commentator. Been here almost as long as the Grizzlies have been here. As long as I can remember, for sure. I don't remember many times without Pete Predica being here. Pete, glad to have you on, man. Welcome to our humble abode here in the Bluff City Media Studios. Been wanting to get you on for a minute, man. It's almost that time, man. We're not many days, not many weeks away from the Grizzlies starting training camp or whatever. You started your time in Portland. And I'll go ahead and get this question out of the way early. You witnessed a very young Zach Randolph.
Right.
And when Zach came to Memphis, he was around 28, 29 years old. He was married. He had children. He was kind of really settling into who he was, kind of slowing down. You know, he was becoming that kind of more mature guy. When you see a guy like Ja Morant, I'm sure you knew where this question was going. We see a guy like Ja Morant, the struggles he's having, just maturing as a man, just making wiser decisions as an NBA pro. Does the fact that you saw Zach Randolph do it there, that version of Zach, and then the version we got, and even once we got Zach, he still had some maturing to do, and he still go to that next level of maturity. When you saw that with Zach, does that give you more hope when you see Ja like, yeah, I've seen this. That kid's going to be all right. How do you feel about that whole situation?
Yeah, because Zach Randolph went into the Blazers organization that had some characters. Underline the word characters,
right.
Okay? And so he's 19 years old. He's coming from Michigan State. He's from Marion, Indiana. And then you go to Portland, Oregon, which it's an entirely different culture, entirely different demographic. And, you know, he had people around him who were guys from Marion. Hey, you owe us.
Yeah.
And one of the key memories of my time here in Memphis off the court, I did a Read to Achieve event with Zach Randolph. And the kid who read the most books, his prize was to get to interview Zach Randolph. And the young man, first question to Zach is, what's the hardest thing for a black athlete to learn? And Zach did not give him any, like BS fluff answer. He said, a lot of times the people who say they're your friends, they're not your friends. And you have to pick the people around you very, very wisely. And that, to me, indicated just how far Zach had come.
Yeah.
And he had matured. And I said it from the heart on the night that his jersey number was retired. I am proud of the man that you've become, because I had the unique perspective of seeing him when he was 19 as a rookie in Portland, and then seeing him close to the end of his career in Memphis.
Because a lot of people are kind of tripping about the whole thing with Ja, because he came on, like, people are like, there are people who actually watch Ja's Twitter like crazy, watch his Instagram,
right?
Who he's following, who he's not following, that type of stuff. Some guy was like, man, Ja just refollowed D-Tap on Instagram, and Ja was like, I'm for life. It's D-Tap for life. We're friends for life or whatever. But he said 5L, which means a little bit more than
even beyond.
We had to break it down for you, Pete, because we kind of break. I've kind of got a history of breaking stuff down for you on Twitter. So I had to break that down. 5L means a little bit more than for life, basically. So, and my thing with that is, and it's always been my thing, like, it's not that Ja needs to cut off D-Tap. It's hard to tell a guy who D-Tap is more than just his friend. He's a guy who he says he looks at like his brother. And that's not, he's not just saying that. Like, that's a real relational, experiential thing where they've had these experiences and life lessons they've had together, where they have that family-like bond. And a lot of times in the African-American community, that's a real thing, man. You know what I mean? That's what I've tried to tell people. You just can't cut that dude off.
Right.
But they just have to move different. They have to grow and mature together and let their relationship turn into a much more professional relationship, and just get rid of some of the stuff that's causing the bad decision-making. So I'm confident that Ja is going to figure this thing out, man. But like I said, people talk about life lessons and did he learn from this and did he learn from this. I don't think it's that type of thing. I think it's going to have to be he's just going to have to grow older. He's just going to have to mature, and we just have to just kind of hope that there's little collateral damage as he grows up. I just think we just kind of got to wait him out, man.
Yeah, and I thought T's comment that this isn't about the
stop
people
throwing
around
it on
Ja.
people. Yep.
Yeah, John needs to make better decisions, and I don't think there's any disputing that fact. And so his reaction or his interaction with Devontae has to be, we're friends, and I can push back on you and say, that's not a good choice for me. Because to give you a sense, Anthony, of the impact, middle of last season, I get a call from the NBA because American Express wants to run an ad, and they want to use some of my calls for Ja Morant. which
They cut you a check for that?
what? Huh?
They paid you for that?
Of course.
Oh my God! Go ahead.
But see, the NBA owns my intellectual property. American Express does not. And I said, "Yeah, you want to use it?" And my agent negotiated, et cetera,
a little
et cetera.
something.
Yeah, a little something.
Slight
something.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, here is an ad for American Express.
Mm-hmm.
He was featured twice in that ad, which was like maybe 15, 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then all this happens, and you go to Summer League, and there are posters of all the NBA stars of today. There's no John Morant.
Yeah.
Here he is. He's one of the most popular athletes in the world. The jersey sales are off the charts.
Man, shoes.
And hopefully he gets it all together and he gets in a good headspace and can be a productive player and have better decision making.
Yeah. In the meantime, in between time, we've got an entire season coming.
Right.
It's coming soon, man. Be here before you know it. Ja won't be there, of course, for at least those 25 games. He's got those benchmarks he's got to hit, hoping he stays out of trouble, hoping he does whatever he needs to do to get back on the court as soon as possible. But it's undeniable that he will be missing, those 25 games.